Okay, and here we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Grenada Matters. Before we start the show, do us a favor. Go if you're watching this on Facebook, go to invite friends on the Facebook page and click the invite friends and get all your friends to join the Facebook page on BWTM Online. And if you're on YouTube, of course, just smash the like button. So we really appreciate you tuning in to wherever you are in the world, and let us know where you are tuning into and listening to and watching this in the comment section. We'll give you a shout out in the comment section. It's always good to know where you're listening to us from. Okay, I'm joined with, as always, my co-host, the Grenada Empowerment Movement political leader, Earl Maitland.
Right,
Earl, how you doing?
afternoon. I'm fine, Ingram. How are you, brother?
I'm good. I'm doing well.
Okay, that's great. And we have with us Miss Rolanda Mcqueen from Grenada. Miss McQueen, how are you?
Oh, no sound. Hold on. She's muted herself, I think. Miss McQueen, I think you've muted yourself. You need to mute yourself.
Sorry, I think I better lower my volume down as well. I'm doing really well. Great to see you guys, and great to know you're doing well up in England. But stay up there. We don't want you guys down here in Grenada, not yet.
Right, we'll take our time. We'll take our time and make sure everything is organized properly. All the protocols are put in place before we get back home. Today, we want to say a special welcome to everyone who is joining us and everyone who will be joining us. We have with us Ms. Rolanda Mcqueen. Thank you once again, Ingram, for making this your duty to try to better the conditions that we live in Grenada. Ms. McQueen is not only the CEO and owner of Pure Mineral Water, but additionally a Grenadian national who has returned to propel the Spice Isle. She spends her time satisfying her expected patriotic role as a citizen of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique by donating significant percentages of her monthly wage to various communities, championing the causes of liberty, justice, and equality for all. And today we will be featuring, Ms. McQueen's perspective of living and doing business in Grenada as a Grenadian versus how business. We will be speaking about the product Miss McQueen has, the Mount Pure Water, which is internationally known. Miss McQueen will give a testimony related to policies, governmental and otherwise, which have affected the growth of her business positively or negatively. And also, Ms. McQueen will speak about her community empowerment program and make recommendations for Grenadians who will be returning to Grenada to invest in Grenada. And she will also speak to the employers and employees in Grenada on how we can obviously better the situations that we have in the labor force in Grenada. So, good afternoon to everyone who has joined us. And we shall begin. Ms. McQueen, are we good?
Yes, it's always great to see you, Earl. I'm a big fan of yours. And I'm so looking forward to seeing, in the next 10 years, where you as your leaders. So when I come up to the big office, and I hope I don't have problems having a meeting with you. I hope you will. I hope I'll be on your board.
It's fine. It's fine. I'll be the same person. I'll be the same person. Yes. So, Ms. McQueen, you know, we thankful to have you here today. We know that you're very busy with the Mount Pure water, which everyone enjoys. It has all the benefits, the taste, the health benefits, everything. You know, and we're grateful for having such a product in Grenada. Could you tell us about your product, please?
Well, Montpellier, I mean, I always says, you know, the story has been there for a generation. I'm just this person telling stories. Most people from that area, most of our elders know how good the water is. You know, because the water has been there. I just wanted to prove to Grenadians what we have on our island. And the first year I took a business that was bankrupt. I got it out, I would say. And then gave it life. And within 1 year of giving it back that life, we won bronze for the best bottled water in the world. And within a year and a half, we won silver for the best sparkling water in the world. So we have on our office, we have the silver, bronze, and we left the space. Okay, we're going to go back home to Grenada. You know, I believe so much in Grenada. I believe so much in my people, and that is the reason why, you know, I came back and I invested.
Okay, there seems to be some sound issues from your end, Mrs. McQueen. There's a lot of crackling. People can't hear you clearly. So if you can try and check your microphone and see if it's from your end, please. Try again.
Can you hear me? 1, 2.
I can hear you now. That's good.
Any better?
Much better.
Okay, I think I've taken out the air condition, so I'm going to start sweating like a pig now.
Okay, let's try again from the top.
Yes, as
If you could reintroduce yourself, Mrs. McQueen, we'd appreciate it.
Yes, Rolanda Mcqueen. I'm the girl that grew up in the village. I'm not, you know, I was growing up, I would say I was like a tomboy. I know how to cook. I know how to spin top. And I know how to play marbles. My heart was always in Grenada.
Ms. McQueen,
4 years ago. You're not getting it.
no, it's coming and going. Service seems to be bad on your end. 1 second.
Yeah.
1 second. Right. So, Miss McQueen, you want to try again? Let's hear how your mic is sounding.
Yes, is this any better?
It is.
Any better?
Yeah. It is.
It's better now, is it?
Yes.
Yes, I was saying I came back 4 years ago and took water that was bankrupt, that had died, and really breathe life into it. And I wanted to show to lots of the young people that is in Grenada that we are blessed. And I took that water to prove a point. I bought it into an international market where we, Grenada, went up against the giants. And our first year of me taking the business, we won bronze for the best water in the world. Within 2 years, we won silver for the best sparkling water in the world. I believe in Grenada. I believe in my people. And, you know, they said it takes a village to bring up a child. And my village brought me up. And there is nothing I cannot do for them if they come for help. And I know they are proud of me. They're proud of the brand. And I know Grenada is proud of the brand. Because the support I get is just unbelievable. I mean, we have a huge interest from all over the world now for the water. It's getting to the point where we're thinking, what are we going to do? But I've made myself a promise, and I've made the people of Grenada a promise. I'm not going to be like Fiji water, where Grenadians cannot get their water. You know, it's a good water. 75% of our body is water. So I'm going to make sure that we enjoy our water. And I want everybody to be proud. There is lots of young girls out there. Believe me, if I can do it, you can do it. I didn't go to university. I always said to people, the first thing I've ever passed in my life was my driving test. But, you know, I am a very determined person. And when I was in London, Earl, I had a chain of boutiques. I was the only Black woman with a chain of boutiques in very upmarket area. I mean, I had the royal family as my clients. Because you know why? When I am a very hard worker, I am very committed. You know, even now, I don't need to work, but I work 7 days a week. If I have to drive the truck, there is nothing my workers could do that I will not do myself. Whether it's clean the toilet or whatever it is, I would do it. You know, but you have to love your country. When you love your country, you love your people. Because I always say, when I meet somebody, first thing I say to them, where are you from? What's your family name? Because we all Grenadians are family. Mm-hmm. And, you know, now through this going through COVID, I'm not scared of COVID. And as Grenada, we are strong people. You know, now I'm looking for all the opportunities because now everybody wants to be drinking healthy water because everybody wants to build an immune system. And Montpure can do that. You know, I always say to people, when you're drinking water, make that you read the typical analysis and see what you are drinking. If you see a water and everything marked 0, it's artificial. Remember, you should say to yourself, you know, I am coming from Grenada. I am Grenadian. I know good water. I'm not going to drink that. I mean, in England, they are doing so well with the water in England. We have people, I have somebody call me from America and he said, Miss McQueen, when are we going to the water in America? He said the Jamaicans have their things in Jamaica and they are so proud of it. They are so proud to turn around and say, oh, this is for Jamaica. So we have to be proud. We have to start being proud and we have to push our young people. That's why, you know something, I try not to get involved in politics because although it's in our everyday life. Because the way I look, the politician that is here now, they're only going to be here maybe for our next term or 2. So we have to look beyond that. We cannot have short-term plans. We have to have long-term plans. We know Grenada has fantastic water. So there is a little girl there that is maybe looking. You could be Miss McQueen. You could go out there. You could bring Grenadian products. Mm-hmm. You know, there is just so many things here that we can do. I know most people here are scared because they've been ripped off. But you know something? People would only copy winners. You know, don't be scared. Don't be put off. You know, just go for it. Just go for it, head for it. I know, again, it's difficult to even go to the banks and get loan. But, you know, if I may tell this story, when I first started my business, I never had a bank account because I knew if I went to the bank and said I wanted a loan, they would ask me for a business plan. And I didn't know how to write a business plan. So I had no money to buy clothes because I was in the fashion business. So I went to all my friends and family and people that I work for in the fashion business and asked them to give me nearly new clothes what people have worn but were still very good, or give me old stock. And that is how I did my business. I remember when I went to the bank, I had £4,000. And I said to them, I come to open my bank account. No, they couldn't say no because I had the money to open the bank account. I didn't need a business plan. And can I tell you something? I don't even know what a business plan look like. If somebody tell me to write a business plan, I wouldn't even know where to start. But the good thing is that there are people that knows how to do it. You know, I love to chat all.
Yeah. No, that's fine. We had Kanaleka on Facebook. He was asking for exactly what you just related to us. He was asking the question, can you give any advice to young entrepreneurs? And you did exactly that in the beginning, which started off the show extremely positive, in a positive light. And this is exactly what it is that and to answer Marlon's question, you said that there must be determination, and in collaboration, in addition to the determination, there must be a plan, right? And we must plan not just for tomorrow, but for further into the future. And that is absolutely great. You also said that you are from Grenada, and not only are you from Grenada, but you grew up as a tomboy, learning to spin top and mud and so on. And you were able to come back from over a product that was failing in Grenada and got it to the third best bottled water in the world. And that is a big accomplishment. And we really do thank you for that. You have put Grenada on the map once again, as many other persons would have done. We did have Kirani James, we had Mr. Hollis Map, Mr. Keller, and some other persons, and everyone in Grenada does it in their own way, right? So we are grateful for having you in Grenada. Brings me to the next question. Doing business in Grenada and doing business in England, where you lived for such a long time, is it easier, harder, or similar?
Doing business in Grenada, one of the nice things of doing business in Grenada is very difficult to do that on my perspective, because obviously I'm not going empty-handed. So I should
Queen, this
yes.
right. The sound is gone.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
I said it wouldn't be right to judge it the way I've been treated, because remember, I am going with more money to the bank. So the bank said they will welcome people. You always say I
Mr. Queen, your microphone's gone again.
yeah. Sorry. Yeah, can you hear me now? I think it seems to be muting itself.
A lot of static. You have a next phone in the room. You might have to turn off the next phone.
Oh yes,
it might be it might be affecting
let me take them off from
the voice.
Okay.
Yeah. So whilst we await Ms. McQueen, a pleasant good afternoon to everyone. Good afternoon to Teresa, who is viewing. We have Ms. McQueen, who is speaking about doing business in Grenada and giving advice to persons in Grenada at this time. Right? So Ms. McQueen?
Yes, is this any better? Can you hear me? hearing you quite well. You can't hear me.
You might have to move closer to the internet box. You might have to move closer to the internet box.
To the internet box. I'm right.
All right,
Okay, let me see if I could go into the other office.
all right. So you could give us a tour of Montpure as we're here. You could give us a tour of the Montpure office located at the Carolina.
Oh my God. Well, if you and you know it's always good. This is the boss
Yeah.
up there. So when you come in, you see the boss.
Yeah. we could have a closer
And
look
if
at
you see the boss office, you wouldn't. If you see the boss office, you wouldn't believe it. I got my competitors' water here. Where is Glen Egg water?
Yeah.
This is me when I was in the fashion business. You could see how our sales are hitting the top.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have all the waters because you have to keep your eyes on your competitors.
Yeah.
I've got my competitor water here.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I have all the waters, all of them. I have to know, you can't be in a race if you don't know what is going on. Is it better here?
Yes,
The
it is.
reception?
It is. Yeah, it is much
Is
better.
the reception? Okay, so
Yeah.
yes, but let me move the other phones.
Okay, no problem. So Ingram, we have Ms. McQueen. Ms. McQueen is saying that we have to keep an eye on the competitors to ensure that our product, our service is of the best.
Of course,
Yeah?
that way we don't become complacent, and we also know what we are up against and what we have to do to improve. Market research.
Mm-hmm.
Stana was saying any advice. What I would say to Stana, if there is somebody, always remember people does not get successful just like that. Always get a role model. And when I came into the business, I studied my opponents. I'm not going to go into a ring and start boxing with you if I do not know you, Earl. I have to know your weakness. I have to know where I could hit you. And that is the same in business. If you're going to go into a business selling food on the carnage, and you go and you want to sell the same like what I have, and all of a sudden I am selling more. I'm selling more than you. There is something that I am doing right that you are not doing right. And you have to find out what I am doing that is right. And that is where it starts from. Study your opponents, study what they are doing, and work hard. Work hard is about working hard and not being greedy. Every one of us has to get a piece of the pie, but just make sure that your side you are taking care of business. We're not going to get everything that is right, and we're not going to get everything that is correct. Correct, sorry. But listen to people. You have to listen. That does not mean you're going to make people take you as a fool, but you have to listen. And you were saying doing business in Grenada, in England, it's not easy. I wish I had come back to Grenada before. And I would like to say to the people in England that is listening, come down. Grenada need you guys. We have the experience. Remember, we doing business in England, and there is so much opportunities on the island. I know lots of people would say, oh, they would never come down because of the bad experience. Something is only a few negative people off. Grenadians, the majority. It's so nice when you can come back.
Miss McQueen, you're breaking up again.
It seems like my mic is being. Hello? It seems like my mic. Can you hear me now?
It's bad. The signal
Does
is
that mean I
bad.
have to
You might have to stay in
I
in the
think it's
hall.
I may go into the other office. I think we may have to sell this flow to the Chinese. I'm sure they will get the job. I will come on my niece. Can you hear me better? I'm in another office. Can you hear me any better?
Yeah, we hearing you
Sound
better now.
great. You sound great at the start, and then all of a sudden it starts to get static.
Ah,
Yes.
yeah. Oh, it's.
So you were saying that
Yeah. So
it's not easy in England.
no, it's not easy in England. I wish I had come back to Grenada before. And because the opportunities is just when you leave abroad, you come back, you can see the opportunities. But one of the things that made me sometimes I hear stories here. Can you hear me? I see.
No, the signal going again.
Oh, do you
You
want to try
might
and get
have to.
try and get Miss McQueen via mobile and try and get her on a WhatsApp and then get her to talk via the WhatsApp, so we don't have to worry
So
about the interference of the.
Ingram,
Yeah.
you would have to use your WhatsApp. I don't have WhatsApp here.
Okay. All right.
All right.
If you could send me Miss McQueen's number, I'll WhatsApp her.
All right. Okay. Miss McQueen,
Okay.
would you be able to? Ingram would be able to contact you on WhatsApp.
Yes, but I don't want to give it on the
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
my number up on the
You could type it out to me.
On,
My phone is actually broken at the moment.
type
on
it on the,
So you could
put it on
type it.
the WhatsApp.
private
Yeah,
Message-
send it to me on a chat.
on the private chat.
Yes.
Right. So whilst we're here, we want to for being here with us today. We do have important issues to discuss. We have the experienced Miss Rolanda Mcqueen, who lived in England for quite a while, did business in England, and came back to her home country, Grenada, to actually invest in Grenada and employ many persons, many Grenadians. The opportunities is priceless. Obviously, it is priceless. So for the persons that are looking on, Monk Pure Water was actually a business that was failing, and Ms. McQueen took it over and brought us, Grenada and Monk Pure, to the stage, the international stage. And it is now the third best water in the world, the third best water in the world, coming from countries in this world. We have Grenada in the top three. And I believe twice, right? Miss McQueen is from the parish of St. Andrew, and she is given the advice to persons in Grenada to follow your goals, follow whatever it is that you believe in. We must first be determined and we must have a plan, right? And this is important to become successful. In anything that we do, we must be determined. And this was some advice that Ms. McQueen was given to one young man, Mr. Marlon Lewis, who asked the question, is there any information that Ms. McQueen would give to young entrepreneurs in Grenada, right? So just bear with us for a few seconds as we try to get Ms. McQueen on WhatsApp, as there's some technical difficulties at this time. Um, and we also wish to invite persons on the platform, persons who are viewing, to actually type have for Ms. McQueen or anyone on the panel. Just type in your questions and we will get to you shortly. Ms. McQueen, can you hear me?
In my, it's a UK number.
Uh-huh. Okay. So you're typing it in the private chat, right? You could use Facebook. You could send me a message on Facebook with the number.
Have you got it?
1 second. Yeah, Ingram, you got the number? Ms. McQueen, how is Grenada at this time?
Grenada is lovely. I never see anything negative in Grenada. I think Grenada has a very bright future. As I said, but maybe bias. When you like your people, you know where my office is. My office is in where you call the ghetto. And most people are totally shocked that I am in the ghetto by myself. People think, I'm here. Everybody call me moms. They look after me. I am everywhere I go in Grenada. I feel great. I feel the love, we are the. Remember this year we won silver for the best sparkling, so we're not bronze anymore.
Oh, we are now so we're silver. We're silver.
Yeah, so we are the second best water in the world. And I must say, Trinidad had entered Dominica and Jamaica, and they never been placed. So we are, and to get a business from that went bankrupt, that was dead, and to bring it alive, it just shows you what we have here. And it's not only me. I've got a great team. I've got a great team of people that works with me. It's like a big family, and I'm really grateful for the people that I have working with me at Montpelier.
That is great, and it brings us to the what recommendations do you have for employers and employees?
The recommendation.
For the employers and the employees.
You have for the employers, you have to treat people as as family. You have to treat people like sorry, I'm trying to get onto the you have to treat people as 1 second, let me find out if we get hello. Yes, you have to treat people as Right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me better?
Ingram is he's speaking to you via WhatsApp?
Yes, I think yes.
Okay. Ingram?
Go ahead.
Yes, can you hear me better?
Yeah, so Ingram, mute Miss McQueen on the StreamYard and she'll speak through WhatsApp.
Try that. No.
I think when you unmute me, it's better. If you unmute me, it's better.
No. They can hear you though. Let me come up.
Okay, so Ms. McQueen, Ingram.
I can sing.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Should I turn off the WhatsApp? Can you hear me? Can I turn off the WhatsApp?
I can hear you.
Okay.
All right. Yes,
Someone
Ms.
saying they
McQueen,
were hearing me good before.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You have to treat your workers good. You know, you have to have a laugh with them. At the same time, you have to be very strict. You know, you have to be strict. You don't let people take the piece out of it, but you have to care about your workers. And I do hope that my workers say that I do care about them. Workers as well, people have to be committed. One of the difficulties I find here, I think most employees has been promised a lot by the employer. So people, I think people are fed up, but I just hope the day would come when Montpelier would be able to let the employees know that my word I meant what I say to them. And it doesn't matter if somebody employ you and they are paying you, always make sure that you go to work and you do what you're supposed to do. You work. You make sure you work for your money. No use messing around. It's very difficult, but again, what I find difficult, it is very difficult for people to settle. It's trying to say to people, when you go for lunch, an hour means an hour. When you come to work in the morning, you don't have breakfast when you get in at work. You have breakfast at home. You know, and you don't use things like not using your phone at work. So it's a lot. It's quite, it could really make you anxious and angry. But at the same time, most of the people that I have working with me has never had a job. Never. And it's quite surprising that you have people in their 50s that has never had a job, do not know what it's like to go to work. And, you know, this is where I'm looking for in the next 10 years when we have the younger generation that will be able to, our education system would be different, where people know they don't have to get up and go to work. They could pick up their laptop, their computer, and do business all over the world. And that is what we should be training and teaching our young people now. You know, somebody called us from the water from Dubai. We're doing business with people in England. You know, and this is where we have to go. So maybe when the Chinese and them come next time, please don't build another stadium. Tell them to give us money to build schools. But again, the Chinese does not invest in education, because when people coming into your country to take what you have, they do not want the people eyes to be open. So they will build you some things that is no use to you. So moving forward, the younger generation that could be coming up, when we ask for help from the international market out there, let us ask for education. We want to educate our people.
And education.
COVID now, Grenadians must realize that we have sold so many of our land, and COVID should be of a great lesson, a learning lesson to us, because otherwise we'll be coming back slave. If we take all our lands and sell it to foreigners, and we have another disaster like we have in COVID, we will be going back on the plantation and working. Same people, foreigners like our great ancestors work for, and they did not leave all this land and buy all this land to see their grandchildren going back and working like slaves. So let COVID be an example for us. You know, we have other springs. You know, we do things. We have so many things that we can do here. And I said, you know, we have to. One of the things I would like to see. Every child has a laptop, you know, and let us encourage more young entrepreneurs. Let us help them. Somebody went to get help from one of the people, I think that the Bureau of Standard, and he said to me, they sent the paper to him saying that there were things he's supposed to do before he could get his barcode. But he didn't know what to do. Although they told him what to do, he really was lost. I would have liked to have seen, they called him in and hold his hands and show him how to do it. You know, there are so, when I go, there was an extra here in Grenada.
Yeah, I agree.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I do agree that the persons that know better should do better. They should guide more, you know, instead of just passing down instructions. And that brings up all the policies that we have in Grenada. You know, some like myself would say that the policies they need to be revised and amended, because many times we would hear persons speaking of how many red tape there is when persons are trying to invest in Grenada. We do know that there was some issue with the water, with being told at Carnival and some other national events. You know, have you been able to rectify that as yet? And before you answer, I want to thank you personally for taking up the task of doing so, because what that allows is for my next generation and even for myself to not have to face such a battle, you know, with actually having to make ends meet in Grenada, right? So thank you for taking up that task, Ms. McQueen. And how is it?
Well, what's sad about it, if I didn't have the money, just 2 court cases will cost me like $8,000. I would have been able to take up that cause. And I'm going back to court on Wednesday. We have the trial date on Wednesday. And every time I speak about it, I get very emotional about it, because I shouldn't have had to done that. And people that is out there, I want people to know, I'm not doing it, and I've said that many times, for Mount Pure. Mount Pure water is the second best water in the world. I'm doing it, Earl, as you said, for your daughter, that they don't have to feel like so many of us feel that we are not good enough. And there is only a small percentage of people in Grenada that can go to the top or that can do this. I've heard of this. I heard somebody said to me, getting scholarship for their children. Your child may be much brighter than mine, but because I am Mount Pure, my child will get the opportunity to get the scholarship, and your child won't. This is the reason I am doing what I am doing, to say, give every every one of us the opportunity. This type of things, I have been to friends with my school friends that was much, much brighter than I were. But they didn't get that opportunity. You know, we have to, Kimmy and George said, not the best water in the world. We've gone further than the Caribbean. You know, and that's what I'm saying. That's the reason why I am doing it. I am doing it because what I've been through, no other Grenadian should have to go through that again. So let us pray. I have nothing against the water companies in Grenada. You know, as far as I'm concerned, it is just great to know as a small island, we have 3 water companies. And sorry, is it four water companies? And I think it is fantastic. And when you speak about the owner of Glenelg, we have to give it the old man that started it. We have to give him a clap, and we have to let his family know how proud. Well, I am of him. What's his name, Mr. Friday? Yes. I am so proud of the vision that man had. That 29 years ago, he decided to bottle water. And that is where so he is, that is the type of people we look up to. He was a man with a vision. And then if you look at Monk, he started, 15 years ago, doing water. So we have to look up to the people and admire. Sorry. So what I am doing now, I am going to code to say, no, the next black girl that come and has a good product, I want to showcase it to the world. We can't stop them. We have to encourage them. I'm not hearing you, right?
It just went. There was a lot of static. All right, Ms. McQueen, sorry, go ahead. So you were saying 15 years ago, and then more pure.
Yeah, 15 years ago, we had Clabony. That's the company I had bought. But doing business in Grenada, it is expensive. The taxes, you know, the roads, you know, our road is very, very bad. But we're hoping the government has said that they will be starting on our road. You know, water is a big thing international, especially premium water. And I just want to show it to my people that we can do it. It does not matter what difficult we come through, what we face, but let us just keep going. Let us keep going together. You know, let us walk this road together. We can be strong, and that's why I always buy local. When you go to buy water, look for your local company, because you know something. When you buy our water, we put the money back into our economy. We grow our country. Your first choice should be a local water. You know, if you cannot get Montpure, go for Glenelg. If you cannot get Glenelg, go for Poli. If you cannot get Poli, go for Blue. And let us keep our, you know, I am all about Grenada. I'm all about Grenada water. And what I have done, what is happening now, we are getting together, Glenelg, myself, Glenelg, Montpure, and Blue. We are trying to come underneath one umbrella, you know, and I've been trying to get them to come underneath one umbrella for the last 2 years. And we are coming together. We are in talk. Because we have good water, and we want to come together as a family. You know, so people out there, I want them to know, I don't have no problem with any Grenada water company. I do have a problem with water coming in and taking our money out, because these people do not invest in our economy. They just take it. Yeah. You know, they just take the money out. So we're coming together, the water companies, and we're going to work hard. And I know we're going to get the support from our people.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
I'm 100% sure.
Yeah, I you know, all the best when you return to court. on Wednesday. As I said, I know that it will benefit the people of Grenada. When this actually occurred, this incident occurred, and Grenadians were made aware that there were restrictions on local companies in selling international events. Some persons even had um, questions about would they actually start banning chicken and chips from the normal man if KFC was to buy whatever rights or so on. And it is time that we continue and not,
Yes.
not only just speak about equality, but we actually put policies in place where equality will be evident. And it leads me into the next part of the discussion. I do know that you are a co-host of Conversation 473, a Facebook show that is aired Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 p.m. And I have had the opportunity to be a part of that program and even to look at y'all, and it is very inspiring and uplifting. I'm grateful for the fact that y'all continue to tell Grenadians that we need to unite despite whatever perception we might have on various issues. But the important thing is that we unite. And I do know also that you have been doing a community empowerment program, right? Where you have been actually given percentages of your monthly wage to persons in various communities. I want to commend you for that, and also want to allow you to tell the people of Grenada and the wider world, whoever is looking on, about that empowerment program that you have started in Grenada.
One of the things I must say, if I could answer Joan Charles, she said, is Blue a Grenadian water company?
Mhm.
Yes, Joan, it is a Grenada water company. So, make sure when you go out, you support them. And the person that owned Blue is a great guy. Great people. We work together. Sam and Pablo, we work really well together. The great guys, if I need anything from them, I could just pick up the phone. It doesn't matter what time of the night, and they will be there. Sorry, you was asked, repeat your, you wanted to make
Yes,
the next question
your
was?
community program that you're doing with the money.
Yeah, as I've said, everybody know Crochet Mama Can. That's where I grew up, Munich. That's my family. And I was brought up that you give. Much is given, much is expected. And I don't know if anybody's seen my car, but I drive a Jeep, and I'm allowed to, I usually go places most people do not go. And I've seen I don't know if suffering is too much of a strong word to use, but I have seen people in the community with more than 5, 6 children. And I have said, I have done it before where I've helped with this school program. But because of COVID, we have lots of kids at home and, parents, things are tough. And I decided, I had called on the women politicians as mothers to give a percentage of their salary to their village, whatever, to the constituency. Because how I did mine, I call up the headmaster for my school and ask him for the children that may need help. I don't know who I'm giving help to. I've never met any of them. And I work with, I don't know if you know Wayne Jones, and I give vouchers to them. So every month I make sure it's not money. They go into the shop and they get a voucher where they could do some shopping. And I will do it for as long as we are getting our feet back up on the ground. When the school is opened, I'm going to still continue to give it to the school because, sometimes I remember growing up, there are children that don't go to school because their parents hasn't got anything for them to eat. So I'll make sure that I continue giving that money. So at least every child, I will pay for every child that parents cannot afford to give them a meal. I will make sure Montpure donate that money, because it breaks my heart to know that there are children that will be going hungry. I can't, that's something I cannot. But one of my dream is, once we get on going, two things I would like to do. One, I would love to build a wing in our hospital, to say that wing and call it the Montpure wing. And the second thing I would like to do is the children that's been sexually abused, when they go to court, we do not have a special room where these children and them could go and give evidence. And this is something I would like to do, as soon as we can. But, I want people to see. I don't want to be asking the Grenadian public for everything and there is nothing to give back. I don't want to be in business for 50 years or not even 10 years or 20 years, and all we have done is take. We have to give back. We have to be able to build our community. I cannot be taking all that years and we go to the hospital and there is nothing there that is donated by Montpure. We should have one of the best wing in the hospital. With all the equipment, everything. That is how I'm looking at giving back.
Yeah, and that is great. That is extremely great, because we do have need for additional wings and so on at the Grenada General Hospital. I do hope that your ambition is not. I hope that it is appreciated by everyone, especially those in authority, the mandates to make it a reality. The sexual abuse, yes, you are very correct. Something needs to be done when it comes to sexual abuse. I remember how passionate you have been about our children, the victims of sexual abuse. And in fact, for the persons who are looking on with us at this time, Ms. McQueen and I actually did a one-man and petition in the town of St. George. I believe it was sometime late last year. Ms. McQueen, was it, or was it early last year?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So we have been through town, and we were coming to the people of Grenada, asking them to sign on to a petition to actually put laws in place that would reduce the number of persons that are sexually violated, especially our children. This is something that we're very passionate about. It's always good to look on the positive side of things. With this type of attitude, we can take Grenada from where it is and bring it to where we wish it would be. The key would be unity. And this is what we need in Grenada. We need to unite as Grenadians. Ms. McQueen has come back from England and she has invested in Grenada. Not only, Ms. McQueen, have you invested in Grenada, but there is a young man who's working at your place, and he has Down syndrome. Yes. And this is something that is close to my heart.
Yes.
My last brother, Naz Errol Maitland, had Down syndrome. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2009, but this is something that I would like to see. And it would be discussed on one of the programs that we would be doing, including persons with disabilities or challenges, mental challenges in the workplace. It's not only for persons who appear to be all well and good. We all have our restrictions and so on. So that is great. That is great. I was rather happy to see that young man working there at Mount Pure, actually doing something good for himself. And this is what we need in the workplaces. This is what we need. This is what we need in Grenada.
Well, we also have a young man that is deaf. When I came here, that is one of the things I wanted to lead by example. And the young man that we have who has Down syndrome, who is working for us, lovely, great young man. And it's so nice because remember, he cannot pay his NIS. So we know if, although most employers does not pay their staff NIS, but we know he will have a pension. We know if he falls sick, because most parents with children that has Down syndrome, they worry about them all the time. But if they know that their child is being able to, after they fall sick or they get older, they'll have a small income coming in. It's great. We have a young guy that is deaf. I think one of our best workers. He's a bright boy. But what I find, one day we sent him to one, because I try to send them out to mix in the community, and somebody said, oh, don't send him back. The boy that is deaf, don't send him back because they do not have the patience to even take the time to speak to him and to understand what he's saying. We have to put our children in mainstream so they could mix with the community. We cannot, because a child has a disability, that does not mean we should take them and just push them in the corner. It's the same thing when children was growing up and they were dyslexic or they were not the brightest child in the class. The teacher wouldn't have patience for them, so they push them aside. And I was one of this child that way it would take me a long time before I could grasp something, So it's about learning patience, having patience with our children. If those that have challenges, let us take the time and the love and the care. He's deaf. He's been with us for nearly 2 years and he's a fantastic worker. Montpellier would not have been the same without him. If we had looked just at his disability, what he is offering the company, we would not have been able to have that. He is reliable, he is hardworking, he is everything anybody would want. The one in Down syndrome is exactly the same. He's loving. It is so nice that when I come in on morning, I know I will get a cuddle and a hug from the one that is Down syndrome. So there we go. We just have to include everybody. Even we have people that has been made pension and a bit of extra money. Everyone, let us all work together. That's my motto.
Ms. McQueen, maybe that is why you're so successful, because the things that you continue doing for persons and for Grenada, the inclusion of everyone. I believe that is your success. And it saddens me to hear that someone said don't send back the guy that was hearing impaired. It really saddens me, and we need to remember that we do not have any control over the children that we are going to make or the children that our children are going to make. And we need to many times put ourselves in the situations of persons, and then we will treat many more people. And this is something that we lack in Grenada.
Can you imagine how sad and how lonely when you are deaf? It's a very lonely, you live in a very quiet, lonely world. And if everybody has ignoring you and haven't got the patience, can you imagine how sad and depressing that could be? Because the only thing that is wrong, the person, just like how people wear glasses, he just maybe have an hearing impaired. That's it. That does not mean we cannot give him the same opportunity as we will give a child that hasn't got hearing difficulties.
Mhm.
This makes me sad.
It
A
does.
child
It
that
does.
has Down syndrome who is capable of working. Why would we take them and put them in a workplace with everybody there that is disabled? You know, we have to get, this is our children. We have to get them, we have to look after them. If we do not look after our children, who do we expect to look after them?
Yeah, I agree.
You know, who do we expect to look after our children if we do not take that responsibility? It's not only the responsibility of the parents, it's our responsibility. It's our responsibility to have patience with them. If you see a child coming that has hearing difficulties, you don't say, don't send them back. You take the time, because remember that is the same as a child that stutters. You take the time, you calm the child down, and you deal with it. The young man I have that is Down syndrome, sometimes get very upset. And when it comes into me, I calm him down and he's fine. I don't turn around and say, oh, don't send him in here. I have no patience with him. So all he needs is just a cuddle. And I said, everything is going to be okay. And he's, you know. So, you know, we remember Grenada is not for just those that are physically and mentally okay. It's also for those that have challenges.
Yeah, it is true. You know, we have Cameron George, my brother Cameron George. He is saying, if every Grenadian business community does as you are doing, Miss McQueen, we as Grenadians will be at the best of positions as certain examples for the youth. And he is totally correct. You know what you have shown us today is that there is more to having a successful business than just finance, to do with compassion, unity, inclusion, giving persons that sense of independence. I can only imagine the young man with Down syndrome and the young man who is hearing impaired, how they would feel to have that sense of independence, that opportunity that is more or less forever lacking in Grenada, you know, and we need to have more business persons, more business owners, not only in the private sector, but the public sector as well. Many more persons as yourself, you know, many more persons involved in the private sector and the public sector who are hearing impaired, who are visually impaired, who have Down syndrome, who are amputees and so on. We need to see more persons. You know, the Grenada Constitution says that everyone has a right to work, right? It does not exclude persons with physical disabilities or whatever the case is. You know, and I do know that you have conversation 473 to get to for 8 p.m. I'm looking forward to tonight's episode as well. Very informative conversation
Yes.
with yourself and Kitaka and Kalistra. The persons that are here, I want to invite them to look at your show this evening at 8 p.m. on Facebook. And Ms. McQueen, thank you very much for being here. We have a pleasant good afternoon to Charles and Maitland. My little brother, I forgot to send him the link to view this afternoon's program. He is a young entrepreneur as well. And I'm sure, you know, this would have been a very informative conversation to have. I'm sure he would have also had a lot of questions for you as someone who is successful in the business. You know, so all in all, um, we want to success comes with determination and good planning, right? It does not matter where you have started, where you have begun the journey. It is a struggle, but like Ms. McQueen, you can accomplish. You can be the CEO of a company one day in England or America or wherever. Ms. McQueen, any final words?
Well, there is an old African proverb that says, if you want to be an eagle, you cannot hang around with chickens. So make sure for all the young entrepreneurs out there, don't hang around with people that will steal your dream, that will tell you you cannot do it. Hang around with people that will encourage you, that will tell you, yes, go for it, and take advice, And I'm there. Anybody that wants to going into business and they think that they would love to have a chat, come and speak. If you're planning something and I could help in any way, I will always be willing to help and to give my advice. Thank you all. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, Ms. McQueen, thank you. It was a pleasure. Ingram has disappeared on us, Ms. McQueen. Where is Ingram? Right. So as we close up, Ingram, are you there? One second. Ingram?
Oh, it's okay.
So